Hello, clever people, and welcome to my review for The Farewell. So The Farewell is a movie directed by Lulu Wang, and it stars Awkwafina, and it follows the story of a woman who lives in New York City, and she learns that her grandmother, who she is very close to, has cancer and is most likely going to pass away, because there's a saying in Japan, which is when people get cancer, they die. And it follows the story of her as she goes back to visit her grandma one last time, and as she has to learn how to say farewell to her. But the thing is, the family is keeping it a secret from the grandma that she has cancer, so they have to work their way around it. The Farewell is a movie I was really looking forward to. It was probably in my top 5 most anticipated for the summer. I was so looking forward to this movie. I thought it was going to be exceptional. And unfortunately, I was a bit let down with The Farewell. Reviews for this movie are exceptional. I think it has a 99 or 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's generally universally loved, and I think a lot of people will really love this movie, because if this movie is anything, it's wholesome. It is so wholesome. It is so nice to watch, and actually what surprised me is that it's a lot more of a comedy than a drama. There's a lot of humor in here, and most of it lands, and most of it makes the audience laugh. And really, it's the type of humor that you don't get in movies very often. Usually in movies, you either get humor that's really smart or sophisticated or trying to be, you get really crude humor, or you get humor designed for older people. You never really get humor that's just this happy and wholesome, that puts a smile on your face. So if The Farewell does anything, at least it does that. And the performances in this movie are really good too. Awkwafina gives an incredible performance. The whole ensemble is really good. In fact, when festivals start rolling around, I wouldn't be surprised if this gets a lot of nominations for ensemble, because it really takes the whole entire family to be giving their 100% of the time for this movie to work, and they all do, and it really does work because of that. And similar to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, this movie is a movie of scenes. There are certain scenes in this movie that are just absolutely captivating. Particularly, Awkwafina has this one scene where she's describing what it was like to lose her grandpa and how living in America affected her that way. It's a scene that comes out of nowhere. You'll have no clue where it's coming in the movie, but when it does, it's so powerful and so poignant. And it really stuck with me. The dialogue was so well written in that one particular scene, and it's generally pretty well written. It's just that one particular scene stood out to me, and there's a few more scenes, like at the wedding ceremony, that there's certain things that happen, and it's really exceptional and so fun to watch. Where my problems come in with the movie is that I don't think that the lead character had as defined enough of an arc as I wish that she had. It seemed like her life pretty much went on as usual. And what I like to preach in my reviews that I don't very often is this: realism does not equal quality. Too many young reviewers or even older reviewers get confused, and if a movie is realistic, they believe that it's a very strong, solid movie. But that's not really how it works most of the time, at least in my opinion, from how I view movies. I don't think that realism necessarily makes a movie good. The reason that so many realistic movies are good is because if a director has the ability to create a world within his film that feels realistic, that means he's a quality director and he's going to make a quality movie. But also, sometimes realistic movies are able to punch themes a lot harder because you feel like you are in the world, because it's so real. It feels just like the world that you live in. However, this movie, even though it did have some pretty strong messages, maybe it's because I'm too young and I don't relate to any of them, but I couldn't relate to any of the messages, and because of that, the realism in this movie did nothing for me. And in fact, it just made the movie feel a lot longer than it actually was. I was checking my watch, waiting for it to be over, and honestly, I don't get the big praise with this movie. It's just a cute little wholesome comedy. It doesn't say anything super profound or something that hasn't been said before. So overall, I do like The Farewell quite a bit. I would recommend going out to see it, especially because everybody loves it 50 times more than I do. But to me, it just didn't really work on all the levels I wanted it to. I will give The Farewell a 7.5 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for The Farewell. So, what are your thoughts on this film, or what is your favorite comedy revolving around death? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.